Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be going over naming the ranges. This is considered advanced to some people, but you guys are with us today and we think you guys can handle it. It shouldn't be too complicated. So as you know, we went over in the second video, we went over self-referencing, whether it be absolute or relative. We can kind of avoid that. So just to go over a little bit. You start the formula with an equal sign. If we want to get the average of this data, you select the whole set. So this set is C3 through C11. We can get the average. However, what if we want to treat this data set as an individual entity? Now, there's multiple ways to do it. I'll show you one way right now. So select the data you want, right click, and define name. Under name, you can write Sal, we'll just say Sal 2015. So this is a table of actors and actresses in 2 years of salary. This is just to show you how we can, manipulate named ranges as opposed to using regular cell referencing. So I'm naming this range Salary 2015, as you can see there. And it refers to this range. You can also name this range the 2016 salary. Right click and hit define name. I'll do Sal 2016. So now, instead of selecting the data, instead of selecting the data, I can just write Sal and it will autofill. And as you can see, as we type out that name, it'll select the correct range. Now if we want max, Sal 2015, yes, and sum, Sal 2015. Now we're going to do it again for 2016. I'll zoom out a little bit so we can capture it all. Sorry. Average, Sal, and these are our two custom named ranges. We're going to do 2016 for this case because we're in that column. So I should have hit tab. I hit enter by accident. There we go. We'll do max for Sal 2016. So we can go up and down to select, and then when you select it, you hit tab, and then enter. And now we're going to do the sum of Sal 2016. We want these all to be 2 decimals each, so they can match their, 1 decimal each, so they can match their original data. And now we're going to encounter a case where we can perform algebra, mathematical operations on custom name ranges within themselves. So for now, what I want to do is this would be the change. So I'm going to select that whole range. I'm going to type equals Sal 2016 minus Sal 2015. And then what you do is you hit control, you're holding control and hit enter. What that will do is it'll apply the formula to each corresponding cell. So as you can see, the difference between 5.2 million and 4.7 is negative 0.5 million. You could also just do, I'll show you another, if you're not comfortable, doing a control enter and applying a formula to the whole range, you could just do equals Sal 2016 minus Sal 2015. Oh, I guess you can't. Oh. There we go. And there you go. So it knows that you're dealing with these elements in that range. And if you clicked it down, if you're just being a little slow, if you dragged it down, we get the same answer. Now I don't need to do, well, I might as well. So now what we can do, I'll delete this, is we can name this range. So now we'll define this name as sal change. Now what we can do is we can find the average sal change. We can find the max sal change. We can find the sum, the total sal change. Make this 2 decimals, or 1 decimal, 2 significant figures. And there you have it. Now, I want to inject my opinion. I typically will not use these named ranges unless I'm using it for a reference table, and that's exactly how I'm going to show you next. For example, if we wanted to add a new actress, the range only includes this I and J. Not only do you have to change this formula, you have to change the range first. And then you can reevaluate the formulas. The formula should be dynamic, so if you did change this range, so right now if I change this range, Sal 2015, it doesn't let you override it. So what you need to do is you need to create a new range or delete your old range. To me, that's just one extra step sometimes to deal with. But the real power of using these named ranges is for reference tables. So I'll show you 2 cases. So I already showed you, some date math. So we'll go back since you already know it. So network days returns the number of whole work days between 2 dates, right? So we want to find between these 2 dates. However, if you remember, you do a start and an end date, and then you can feed it a holiday array. So if we were to go here and doing the same process to find name, but instead of using this method, we could just select our range up here and name it. So now, once I select this range, you know it's holiday. So if we went back here, if I selected our range right here, it doesn't know it. Oops, excuse me. So now this range is named holiday. What we can do is we can say equals network days. Ooh. We can give it a start date. We can give it an end date. And we can call it holiday. As you can see, the range gets highlighted. And there we go. It tells us the number of days. This is super important. If we wanted to make it dynamic, or we wanted a kind of more flexible holiday calendar, what we can do is we'd select this range. We'd make it thick borders, and we'd call this holiday 2 or holiday real. Here, we can go here. We'll modify this formula to take in the holiday real range. Now, I can add dates here. 1/15/2016, and the number goes down. Sadly, the range is only going to work all the way down to this cell, and we'd have to make a new custom range if we wanted to keep adding to the holiday calendar. I'd say one of my favorite uses for named ranges would be for Vlookups. For example, let's say we work at a nursing home and we are responsible for planning meals for our residents. Right now it is January, and based off the day of the week, we cycle through certain foods. So what we will do is we will call this our VLOOKUP food. So this table is called our VLOOKUP food. Excuse me. So now that this table is referenced, we can just start our formula. We want to look up on day, and instead of selecting our columns now, we can just say VLOOKUP food. That's our table. We want to bring in the second column of that table, and we want it to be an exact match, so we use 0. Now I'll click and drag this down, and it will autofill each day and what food should be there. However, say now it's January, and we'll just do 2/1/2016, and the day will change naturally. Now we can come up with a whole new schedule. So instead of filling out this whole new calendar, all we have to change is these 7 days. So now we will say pasta, beef for Tuesday, for tacos. Wednesday, it could be tofu. We'll keep it at tofu. Thursday will be salmon. Friday, we'll have vegetables still. Saturday, we'll change that to chicken, and we'll change Sunday to pork. Now, this whole food calendar has updated. We have not needed to, micro copy and paste any meals into our days. This named range made it very easy for us to update. I want to thank you guys for joining us for named ranges. They can come in handy, very many cases. I would say I want to make sure you guys understand that typically I would only use them for reference tables. For my data analysis and that standard type of work, I would typically just use regular cell referencing. Thank you very much, and we'll see you guys next time.